Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say, Kal Halal Yam Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Ha Rokah Kadash, Brakdam. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Alright, we're out there on the highways and byways, making it sit down to the best of their ability, keeping the commandments to the best of their ability, giving their lives as a spiritual sacrifice to the Most High. Alright. And today's video I want to hit a bit of a short one. So this is Society of the Friends of the Blacks. Alright, and we'll read the beginning. The Society of the Friends of the Blacks, Society des Amis des Noirs, or Amis des Noirs, was a group of French men and women, mostly white, who were abolitionists campaigning for the end of the slave trade. As a group, it lasted from 1788 till 1793. Alright, and this group is important, alright, because the France, they own colonies down in San Domingo, and I always bring the book out, The Black Jacobins, which we're gonna go into. But this book was this group was pretty much a group of people campaigning, to remove and to end slavery in France. All right, skipping down a little bit. The Society of the Friends of the Blacks would take great inspiration from their British equivalents. Jacques Pierre Brissot had met abolitionist leader Thomas Clarkson in Britain and was inspired to create his own organization in France. Brissot was quick to point out the inherent contradiction of the campaigns for liberty and equality at home. All right, in France, they had the rights of man. All right, so they created their own constitutions, the French Constitution. After the French Revolution, calling it the rights of man. All right, giving freedom and pretty much taking down the feudalism caste system out of France, while at the same time perpetuating the caste system in their own place. All right, so they removed tyranny from themselves, economic tyranny for themselves, but did not do so for the Israelites that were under them, which goes back to the curses. All right, and also because they are literally our enemy. The scriptures tell us never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rushes, so is his wickedness. Sirach chapter 12, verse 10. All right, we're not supposed to trust him, and that was a mistake of the northern kingdom of the Simeonites that were down there in Hispaniola, the island Hispaniola. They helped Christopher Columbus. They didn't think he was going to stay. And the same mistake the Gadites made. All right, pretty much the northern kingdom in general. All right. So I'm going to get a quick scripture because we're going to find out as we read on that this group, the Friends of the Negro, the Friends of the Black, were not so, as we say, I don't know how to say it. So. This is a word that these dummies use. So wholesome as they play themselves out to be. All right. So this is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. Right. As for my companions, he betrayed his friends. He broke his promises. Right. Talking about King David. King David's enemies back then in history, these Edomites, these other nations, they put their hands on those that were at peace with them. They'll make up various excuses to attack them. Where some of it was warranted when you go into the history of Hosea betraying the king of Assyria, which I believe at that point was Tiglath-Pileser, and his sons Shalmaneser V and Sargon II, that was warranted, but today do the same thing, with Christopher Columbus, for example, these Edomites, for example, they attacked the northern kingdom. That right there was a unwarranted attack. They attacked those and put their hands toward those that would be at peace with them. The northern kingdom, they were teaching them how to, wash themselves and how to clean themselves. They didn't think they were going to stay. They claimed to be just religious travelers. That's what these Edomites claimed to be. But, we're going to get that in the next verse. Verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. All right, and that word heart, let's go into that word heart, the new brothers. All right, that word heart is lab, inner man, mind, will, heart, inner part. All right, in his heart, in his mind. Okay, but war was in his mind. All right, and this is how these Edomites do. And as we go on in this book, the Black Jacobins, Jacobin is going into a French political movement, by the way, of pretty much revolutionary kind of extremist kind of French group. And the book is called Black Jacobins. It's about the San Domingo Revolution. So they're pretty much the writer C.L.R. James is comparing the Israelites, the Levites down there in that area, to the Jacobins, to this rowdy group of French politicians and shit. But as we're gonna read on, we'll see that this group, Friends of the Negro, are not so wholesome as they appear. Okay, the war was in his heart. Keep that in mind. All right. So this is the Black Jacobins by C.L.R. James, Toussaint Louverture, and San Domingo Revolution. And we're going to start at page 54. All right. France was then stirring with pre-revolutionary attacks on all obvious abuses. 1 year after the Abolitionist Society had been formed in Britain, a group of liberals in France, Brissot, Mirabeau, Pétion, Condorcet, Abbé Grégoire, and all the great names of the first years of the Revolution followed the British example and formed a society, the Friends of the Negro. All right, and when you read in the page before it, all right, we'll see why the British wanted to end slavery. All right, why that abolitionist group started. Okay, but this is page 53 of the same book, Black Jacobins. But the West Indian vested interests were strong. Statesmen do not act merely on speculation, and these possibilities by themselves would not have accounted for any sudden change in the British policy. It was the miraculous growth of San Domingo that was decisive. Pitt found, I'm not going to go into that guy Pitt, just ignore that for now. I think it's talking about William Pitt. He was another guy, another British guy. Don't worry about him. Pitt found that some 50% of the slaves imported into the British islands were sold to the French colonies. All right. So the French were doing so well during that time period that much of the British slaves brought in were sold straight up to the French. All right, let's read on. It was the British slave trade, therefore, which was increasing French colonial produce and putting European market into French hands. Britain was cutting its own throat. All right, Britain was cutting its own throat as Britain kept building and bringing in more slaves into their British colonies, Jamaica, for example. A lot of those slaves, a lot of those Israelites were being sold to the French. So as Britain continued with slavery, they were actively killing and crushing themselves. They were making France do better. Right? These Edomites, it was already written, those three horns plucked up by the roots. Those Edomites were already ordained by the Most High to begin to fight each other. Right? And that's what they were doing. They had their ability to rule, and as they did when they were the Grecians, the Greek Edomites, as soon as they got that power, they began to have wars between themselves. The Didachi Wars, the Diadochi Wars. The Romans had wars and civil wars. So many civil wars, it's too many to count. Moving on. But that's pretty much why the British wanted to cut down slavery, because they didn't have, they were pretty much selling the slaves that they were getting. They were giving them straight to the French, and they were hurting their own economy by doing so. All right, and the French were doing the same thing. Right? This book kind of goes into it. I'm not going to pull it up, but the French were dealing with too many issues, leading up to the French Revolution, which this book is going to get into. They were dealing with unrest from the slaves, cumbersome slave revolts. There's so many slave revolts in this book. It's really too much to bring out. They were popping a lot of Jake women, and they were popping so much Jake women. There was, equal amounts of mulatto, or as we know, are tares. There were equal amounts of tares as there were regular old dirty, dusty, slave-owning Edomites. The Edomite population equaled that of the Terre population. That's how much fucking they were doing to our women. And those Terres are still in Haiti to this day, by the way. They live in the mountain regions, and they don't give a shit about what's going on to the dark-skinned Israelites, right? To the real Israelites, to the Levites that are down there, all right? They only care about themselves, all right? And moving on as the final scripture, we're going to go a little bit into the law. This is really not going to take that long, but, let's see here. We'll go into a little bit of this, but we're going to go into a little bit of various scriptures on, the law and slavery, on servitude. All right, so this is the book of Exodus chapter 21, verse 1. Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy an Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve. In the 7th, he shall go out free for nothing. All right. What it's talking about is the year of the Jubilee, which came later. All right, so if you had a brother, right, we're going to get it first. The book of Leviticus chapter 25. Let's see here. Yeah. So pretty much after 49 years, and on the 50th year, there was a Jubilee. Well, 49th, technically, but we'll read it. This is the book of Leviticus chapter 25. Yeah, we'll start at 8. And thou shalt number 7 Sabbaths of years unto thee, 7 times 7 years, and the spaces of the 7 Sabbaths of years shall be unto thee 49 years. All right, so number 7 Sabbaths of years. So 7 Sabbath years, talking about the years you would let the land rest. I believe that's what that's going into. There was let's see if I can find it. Yep, Sabbath of the land. Yeah, man, it goes into it. And the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest. So you count seven land Sabbaths. So every 7th year we had a land Sabbath, which that's further proof that Esau Edom does not follow the scriptures at all. You're supposed to let the land breathe. The land breathes. It's a living organism. Those plants, they're living organisms. They're supposed to let them rest and recuperate. All right, that's why our people are all fucked up. Why everyone on this earth is all fucked up. They got all these diseases and worms and ticks and shit. All right, because there's no land Sabbath. You gotta let the earth grow. Let the earth, recuperate and recover. Instead, these Edomites just use. All right. Now shall number 7 Sabbaths of years unto thee, 7 times 7 years, and the space of the 7 Sabbaths of years shall be unto thee 49 years. Then shalt thou cause the trumpet of the Jubilee to sound the 10th day of the 7th month. In the day of atonement, which just passed, by the way, shall ye make the trumpet sound throughout all your land. Now, I'm not sure about the 50 years, but the day of atonement just passed for the new brothers. All right. And he shall hallow the 50th year and proclaim liberty throughout all the land to all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and you shall return every man unto his possession, and you shall return every man unto his family. All right. Return your Hebrew servants. All right. Your Israelite servants. All right. And the scripture is gonna, when you read this chapter, it's gonna go into it. If you had a brother and your brother was waxing poor, he might sell himself into your hand to be a servant. Whatever you need, either help around the house or to help clean, or whether it's to help tend your horses or your sheep, your brother would help you, and you would pay him and give him his wages. Which is other scriptures. I could go on that too. You're not supposed to hold back wages. You're not supposed to have, like what they have in today's world, in today's society. Oh, I'll pay you. You get paid on the second week or on the end of the week. No, back then you get paid a day's worth of wages so that the man can go eat and get some food. We'll go here and we'll go down a little bit. This is just one scripture for the punishment limit. Let's see here. Yep, this is one. And he that stealeth a man, so stealeth his brother, and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. Alright? They will be sold as slaves. If you're selling slaves with your own people, you will be put to death. Alright? Because we're not made to be slaves. Alright? There's one verse I'm looking for exactly. Don't have rigor upon your own people. Hold on. Yep, there we go. Right here. Yep. In this book of Leviticus chapter 25, verse 17, should not therefore oppress one another, but thou shalt fear the Most High, thy power, for I am the Most High, your power. Alright? So, simple. There was a punishment limit for the Israelites. Alright, but if we had slaves, if we had slaves of the other nations, there would be a punishment limit for them too. But there's certain caveats with that, So this is the book of Leviticus Exodus chapter 21, verse 26. And if a man smite the eye of his servant, or the eye of his maid, that it perish, he shall let him go free for his eye's sake. And if you read here, you must let the slave go free to compensate for the eye. We were not to do that to our own people, beating the shit out of our own people. That will be cause to put you to death for that. Because you read here that you should not oppress one another. And it sounded like someone, but let's look here. Rigor. Yep. Leviticus 1:43. Alright. This is the book of Leviticus chapter 25, verse 42. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They should not be sold as bondmen. Alright, you read here in the NLT version, alright, whom I brought out of the land of Egypt, so they must never be sold as slaves. Alright, Israelites were not selling. We're not supposed to sell the Israelites. Alright, you're going to die. The Most High is going to destroy you for doing that. Alright, you're not supposed to make whores out of the daughters of Israel. Right? You're not supposed to be selling your, like our men do today. But they're really not even our men. That's not my brother. That ain't my fucking brother. Those Israelite pimps, they're not even nigga pimps. We'll call them niggas. Them niggas that Negroes, those colored folk, naggers, who sell our women. To other people, sell them to Edomites, let Edomites run trains on them and shit, running trains on our own women, that's that's cause to be put to death, and they are gonna be put to death. Alright, they're gonna die by nuclear fire. They're gonna die in these riots in time of Jacob's trouble. They're gonna learn. But I think I pretty much proved the point. This is talking about other nations. There was always a punishment limit. Always a punishment limit. Alright, if we smite out the tooth, of our servants of the other nations, alright, because there's a different way we treat our own people. We're not gonna sit here and beat the shit out of our own brothers. Like what? Come on. This is not talking about Israelites beating the hell out of other Israelites, cracking the whip on other Israelites. We would beat the hell out of our slaves for whatever reason. Sarah beat the hell out of Hagar, because Hagar was oppressing Sarah, probably made her all jealous, and Sarah was like, "You little bitch, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you," and beating her ass so bad, Hagar went and cried to the Most High. All right. But that's pretty much it. I pretty much proved the point. These Edomites, they don't follow the punishment limit. They clearly broken the punishment limit. What they've done to us is, they broke our tooth, they broke our backs, they had sex with our woman and made us watch, probably made us clap and shit. They took sleep from us. They didn't give us food. They didn't give us enough food. They made us eat raw chicken and raw meat. All right, they beat our ass way past the punishment limit, as I said before. If they hurt us and broke our tooth, they didn't let us go and get the tooth fixed or compensate us or let us go free. excuse me, they pretty much just whooped our asses in, okay? And they're gonna pay for that. All right, he that putteth into captivity must go into captivity. This is the patience of the saints, roughly paraphrasing Revelation chapter 13, verse 9 and 10, and that's what we're waiting for. All right, these Edomites have, I mean, the laws, statutes, and commandments were made for them to begin with, but what they've done to our people has to be recompensed. We have to have some sort of recompensation, and the Most High is going to recompensate us. He's going to give us the kingdom. I don't want to of that number. We're going to take these Edomites, and we're going to put them the same torture and pain that they put us through. We're going to take their woman, but we're not going to do the same things that they were doing. We're not going to fuck their woman in front of them. That is fucking wicked, man. That is gay, you know? Like popping a man's woman, or popping a man, or not popping a man's woman, or, you know, because we all going to ravish their woman and kill them right after, right? But what I'm saying is, like, popping a woman in front of her father, like, that is nasty, man. That is not righteous at all. That's wicked. All right, but that's pretty much it on this lesson. You know, pretty much, you know, that's pretty much it. You know, don't trust Esau, Edom. Friends of the Negro, all these other abolitionist groups that followed the example, Friends of the Negro, you know, they do it for their own means. They do it for political means, to bolster themselves and bolster their own numbers. They don't care about our people. They never have. They never did. They never will. Okay? These Edomites are going to pay. All right? And I don't want to tell you edified. Call Halayim Yahweh by Shem, Yahweh Shai by Shem Ha, Rakah Kadash, Rakdam. All right? That's all I got. To be continued. Shalom.